Hello all, welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to continue our user stories topics in this video, which are remaining now. You can go ahead and see the previous video for the user story creations and what exactly we can include, how we can go ahead with the user stories and the definition of the user story in the previous video. In this video, we are covering the remaining topics which are related to user stories. Let's go ahead and see what exactly the meaning of this spike. In Scrum, spike stories are a time box activity to investigate a problem, understand a requirement, or reduce risk before committing to a full solution. Okay, they are not about to delivering features, but rather than about gaining the knowledge to inform the future developments. Okay, think of them as research or experiments of something, POC kind of work, that is we can call about in this scrum meaning. Then they often use when the team lacks clarity or faces some uncertainty on a complex user or something. Then we are moving those user stories as a spike. In that epic, we are having that user stories which we can convert it into subtasks and try to resolve those, make it on research, POC kind of things, and we can go ahead and get the information as early as possible. Okay, this is called the spikes. Let's go ahead and see the acceptance criteria. The acceptance criteria are defined as the condition that must be satisfied for a product, user story, or the increment of the work to be accepted. That acceptance criteria is a useful for the teams choose to use the improve the quality of the product backlog items. The acceptance criteria are either met or not met. They are never only partially fulfilled, specific to the user stories we are saying. For a health clinic pre-appointment paperwork, we can say it's a given when and then. That is the acceptance criteria economy. Okay, that given when and then. Given that I am an existing health content patient, when I schedule an appointment online, then I will receive the fillable pre-appointment paperwork electronically. Okay, that email or something we can get is that is the acceptance criteria. Given the health center patient, we are having the details of it. Then when he scheduled the appointment, then he will get the pre-booking appointment or the details, meeting details on their email or something. This is the acceptance criteria mentioned by the users. Okay, always. Then what is definition of ready? It is working agreement between the developers and the product owner on what readiness means. It is an input criteria to the plan a story in a sprint. It is way for a product owner to indicate an item in the product backlog as ready to work in the sprint. It is the accountability of a product owner that there is definition of ready defined. Scrum team can refuse to take an item into sprint if DOR, that is definition of ready, is not met. The team makes explicit and visible the criteria generally based on the invest metrics. Okay, we have learned this invest metrics in previous videos. Just go through that video once to clarify the invest metrics that the user story must meet the prior to be being accepted into the upcoming iterations. Okay, these are the definition of ready criteria. The working agreement, then, what is the definition of done? The team agrees on and displays the prominently promise that somewhere in the team room a list of criteria which must be met before the product increments. Product increments when it's happen every quarterly or something. So often a user story is considered should be done. Failure to meet these criteria at the end of the sprint and sprint increment will be happen in every sprint execution, that is 2 week sprint or something. Okay, definition of done, it's applicable to the every user story as well, where the acceptance criteria should be met. Okay, the sprint normally implies that the work should not be counted towards the sprint velocity. Team specific, not universal. This is definition of done. When you start the project can be updated upon team agreements, normally in the retrospective meetings, you can say, shared in SharePoint or Confluence pages as well. Okay. So we have just gone through the previous slide where we have mentioned that the sprint velocity, you can see here, right? The failure to meet this criteria at the end of the each sprint normally implies that the work should not be counted towards the sprint velocity. Let's see what is exactly velocity. Velocity is measure of the amount of work a team can tackle during a single sprint and is the key metrics in the scrum. You can see it's in the chart. I have given the actual and the forecast. Sprint 1, sprint 2, 3, 4, and 5. We always usually taken the latest sprint 5s for this chart preparation. Okay, so velocity is calculated at the end of the each sprint by totaling the points, the story points for all fully completed. Definition of done, user stories. Okay, we are taking these 20, 15, 10, 15 are the story points, means we estimated the forecast some 20 points in sprint 1 and we have completed 15 points only. Okay, as a definition we are meeting the criteria definition with done of that. Okay, the average of the last 5 sprint we are always taking. Okay, so what is the next step is capacity planning. What is exactly it is? Scrum team should involve in this estimation capacity planning. Consider the holidays, leaves of the team members, consider the meeting times as well. Plan only the working hours. Okay, we are planning the only working hours, so that is the capacity planning, and in that working hours, how many story points we can cover and estimate we are going to do it. Okay, this is the capacity utilization. You can see in the left hand side the red, amber, green color are mentioned, that is capacity planning from and to. Okay, example I have given, that is sprint 1 available are 220, committed, these are the hours. Okay, 220 committed, 210, and utilization is 95% or something. These are the sprint as per the available, committed, and utilization things. Utilization is the 100%, we are giving the estimation, available and committed. Okay, so this is related to capacity planning, where these are going to discuss the plan only for the working hours. We are just deducting the leaves, holidays, the meeting timings. Okay, it should be prepared by the scrum team. Okay, yeah. So this is all about the sprint related, that story points related topics. Okay, we have discussed so far the sprint, that is story points, how the user story we can create, how we can go ahead with the story creation. We have discussed the capacity velocity planning, invest criteria, invest metric in the last video, then the definition ready, definition of done, then the acceptance criteria, and the spike in this video. So just go through this previous video and this video for understanding of the user stories. Okay, and if you are having any concerns or you are having any thoughts or something you can want to share with us, just put it in the comments so that we can also gain some knowledge and grow together. Thank you.